lately I've been doing a lot of tutorials about Lightroom, and there's another program that I use an awful lot, and I use Lightroom to do my heavy lifting, and then I like to go into Photoshop to fine-tune photos. So let me show you how you'd edit an image in Photoshop. Here I am in Lightroom, and I've got a very sharp photo of a race car at speed. If I right-click and choose Edit in Adobe CC 2015.5 is the top choice because that's the current version of Photoshop I'm using. I'm not using 2017 because it's not compatible with all of my plugins. So if you have Photoshop or Photoshop Elements installed on your computer and you right-click and choose Edit in, Photoshop Elements or Photoshop should be at the top of the stack. And now when I click Edit in, I get a choice. And I'm going to edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments because it's a raw photo. I can't edit the original. And I don't want to edit the original even if I could. It's telling me that it needs a different plugin for full compatibility, but if you see this error message, really don't worry about it. Just let it render, and I choose render using Lightroom because actually the camera raw I have in Lightroom is more current than the one I have in Photoshop. So here I am in Photoshop, and I'm going to zoom in, and I've got some great detail as you can see. And I'm at 200% and I still have great detail. One of the things you can do in Lightroom is you can crop an image to make it a different size. But what happens when you want to go the other way and blow it up? Well, you can buy expensive software resizing programs, or you can use something that I found out a long time ago at Photoshop World to resize images and retain the detail. Now, to begin with, you need to start with a good image. You can't pick up a 300 by 200 pixel image off the net and think you're going to resize it and have it work. So I've got a high resolution image here. And if I choose image size, it's 4274 by 3149 pixels. And I know for a fact that it's 240 pixels per inch. So what can I do to enlarge this? Well, you enlarge by percent. And the trick is to enlarge the pixels by 10%. So you'd enlarge this by 110%. And you would choose, for resampling, you would choose preserve details for enlargement. Or you could choose bicubic smoother. This image has a lot of details, so I'm going to choose preserve details and press OK. And now it's just been enlarged 10%. And you see I've still got at 100% a ton of detail. But would I want to do that each and every time I wanted to enlarge an image, go into that command and enlarge it by 10%? No. So I'm going to go back to the open state here. And what I'm going to do now is create an action so I don't have to do this each and every time. And to do this, I create an action. Now, if your actions panel isn't open, go up to Window, Actions. And there are all my actions. Now, what I'm going to do is create an action so I don't have to go to the menu command each and every time. And to start with, I'm going to create a new set of actions. And that's how you'd start out with actions in Photoshop. So I click this icon, and I'm going to call this My Actions. Now I'll select my actions, and now I'll click this icon to create a new action. And I'm going to call this 110% enlarge. Put it in my actions. Now I'm going to record. Now the little record icon is on. It's recording every step that I'm taking. So if I choose image size, again I'm resampling with preserved details. You can experiment with bicubic smoother, but in this case I want to use preserve details. So I choose 110% and the constraint aspect ratio lock is on, and I click OK, and it enlarges the image by 10%. And now all I'm going to do is click this icon to stop the action. I'll go back in the history and I'll go back to the open state. I'll go back to my actions, choose 110% enlarge, click the play button, click it again and again and again. And look, at 100%, I've still got great detail. And after running this 4 times, it's still preserving detail. My image is now 31 by 21 inches. So there you have it, image resizing in Photoshop and creating an action.